The talent I would most like to have is any musical talent. I would love to be able to play piano, guitar, whatever. I have zero musical talent, although I'm pretty good at singing mariachi and ranchero songs. My heroes are the Frankenstein creature and Charles Dickens.
We always thought alien life would come from the stars, but it came from deep beneath the Pacific.
Now, you've said that this film is your baby.
Yes.
Can you explain what makes Pacific Rim different from the other films you've made?
For me, this movie is a very young movie. It's a movie I made as a 48-year-old, but with the heart of a 12-year-old. And it's directed to families and kids in many ways, because the values, I think, that are in the movie are profoundly humanistic, profoundly beautiful. And ultimately, what I want is, I would love to be 12, sit down in a theater and dream of driving a 25-story high robot and fight a 25-story high monster. Mm-hmm. The great fortune is most guys, we stay kids the whole our entire life. I consider my greatest achievement to be my two daughters. They are absolutely the greatest masterpiece anyone could want, and they never disappoint.
I didn't have the fantasy of driving a robot like that, but I have an appreciation for it and the wonder of it and how you create it.
Thinking about it for girls, I have two daughters, one is 16, one is 12. And what I want to give them is the role model that can be a real character. I love the fact that we made a very choral movie where we didn't just load the heaviness of the picture on Charlie, on him. Mm-hmm. We gave everyone a moment. And we made a choice as we processed the movie to go for a friendship story, not a love story. So that, you know, girls can also dream about not just falling in love with every guy that seems to share something with them. It's a great story of friendship and respect and love, but the love of a colleague, of a pilot to a pilot, is a really great choice for me. My greatest extravagance is, at the age of 48, is pens. I like pens. I know what this says is very Freudian, but I'm sorry, I'm a cliche.
What about the genre spoke to you at such a young age that you were already motivated?
It's not a figure of speech. I was connected with monsters from the crib. You know, some people smile when they say cat whiskers or puppies and this and that. I smile when you say monsters.
What I responded to was the sharing of the minds and the coming together, and you're actually one person, and knowing someone's faults, and in order to be together you have to accept each other for who they are and trust.
Those are thematic things that were layered there very, very carefully. Mm-hmm. And if you see my movies, I celebrate imperfection. I celebrate us being incomplete. I celebrate that the fact that if we want to be complete, we need each other. Mm-hmm. In every movie I make, that is the prevalent message. The message that fragility is good, imperfection is good. And I think that you learn very little from perfection in life. And you learn so much from imperfection. And monsters are the patron saints of imperfection.
Do you have a belief in another life out there?
I'm a Mexican. So for good or for bad, I've seen one UFO, and I've heard two ghosts. And in my country, you can be having lunch or dinner and you say, I saw a ghost, and they go, oh yeah, really? Pass the sauce.
In Pacific Rim, you do create this world that's like none other I've ever seen. Do you have something that you're working on now?
Yeah, I'm doing a TV series for FX called The Strain, which is based in the 3 books I co-wrote with Chuck Hogan. It's basically a very hardcore take on vampire mythology. They won't take you to dinner, they won't sparkle, they won't date you. You'll be dinner, and the date will be very short.
It was great sitting down with you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. If I could change one thing about myself, it would be, I would like to learn how to realize that free time is very important, and more important than work. But right now I have my priorities pretty scrambled. That's it.
Great. Thank you.
Excellent.